Yagami-san, do you have a minute? It's Shiosaki.
Oh, I was just about to call you. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know a detective...
Oh, yes. He came asking me about the harassment case.
Want to know why that is? Apparently Tokyo PD suspects Ihara might... And since they don't want Kanagawa stealing the show...
That does make sense.
By the way, when's your next appointment?
As soon as we're ready, honestly.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. But I'd like to do a bit more research before...
Funny you should say that. Hoshino-kun just told me he's going to reinspect. He said it'd be best to plot Ihara's movement from Ikebukuro all the way to
No
Shin.
kidding. Then I ought to go with.
If that's the case.
Okay.
Yagami-san? It's me, Hoshino.
I'm stoked to be there. It'd be a huge help if you could walk me through what happened.
You got it. We'll be starting from Ikebukuro Station, so just...
Will do. See you then.
Okay, see that sign right there? Ihara was leaning on that before the incident. Yep, just like that. He was standing around searching for a victim. Ihara's the man in the cap and sunglasses.
So, Ihara was lingering at the platform a while, huh?
Yeah, he walked past the ticket gate at 7:43 a.m. This was confirmed by the security tapes as well as when he swiped his transit card. After that, he wandered the platform an entire hour ogling women.
He spent that long choosing a target?
Yeah, sick, isn't it?
And the security camera that caught him would be... that one?
That's right. Anyhow, at 9:06 a.m., Ihara finally honed in on his would-be victim. Then he boarded her train, which was departing for Shinjuku.
She's the one in the pink cardigan and white skirt?
Yeah, Yui Mamiya, an office worker and mother of a 6-year-old boy. The two of them show up on the train's interior cam as well. According to the victim's statement, Ihara began by rubbing her posterior with the back of his hand. But it didn't stop there. After that, he put his hand up her skirt.
Pretty sickening.
I'm assuming he targeted someone shy, thinking she wouldn't resist. Makes me angry just thinking about it. The victim stated she was too scared to call for help, meaning she endured this for 6 minutes until the train reached its stop in Shinjuku.
Can you send what you just showed me to my phone?
Sure. Now let's head to Shinjuku Station. Then we can watch as the jerk gets busted. Even if we did defend him in court, an asshole's still an asshole. Looks like we're getting close to Shinjuku.
The train's pretty light right now, but it was packed during the crime, right?
Oh yeah, the car occupancy at that time of day.
And Ihara should have been standing roughly where I am. Hey. Suspicious. What the?
Ihara and Mamiya-san both exited the train and got onto the platform here. But right before that, Mamiya-san suddenly grabbed Ihara's wrist and yanked his hand out from under her skirt. That's when she got a good look at her assailant.
So without a doubt, she saw it was him.
Yes, and there were also traces of her garments on his hand during evidence analysis. Anyway, after being grabbed, Ihara wrenched himself free and took off at a sprint. See, here he gets off the train and bolts across the platform. And Mamiya-san chases after him, asking people...
This is what they kept looping on TV.
Yeah. And honestly, with all this...
Was there any security footage that wasn't aired on TV?
Sure, take a look around you. There's more than just one camera pointed at us. They're practically...
Oh, yeah.
As for what I was saying earlier, Ihara... Oh, right. I have a diagram of the platform to show you.
So Ihara gets off the train here, and then gets apprehended here. How far apart is that?
Roughly 100 meters. Both he and the victim were weaving their way through the crowd. The whole scene was very chaotic. Even after Ihara...
Hey, you think we could get the positions of all these cameras and where they're pointing penciled in?
Good idea. Let's check each camera's position. That's where he got tackled. So if you... I can mock it up on our diagram here.
What the... Hey. What the... Suspicious. Uh-huh. Hey.
Looks like we checked all the nearby cameras. Let's go up a little further now.
What the... What the... Hey. Hey.
Looks like we checked all the nearby...
What the... Suspicious. Uh-huh. What the...
Okay, looks like we got all the cameras. Now we'll pencil in the camera locations and what directions they're pointing.
Suspicious. What the? Suspicious. Uh-huh.
So this was the general situation when Ihara committed his crime. What do you think, Yagami-san? And
Do you think Ihara and Mamiya-san were riding the train pretty frequently?
oh yeah, Mamiya-san commuted by train. She was here every week. Same goes for Ihara, actually, but he was off that day.
Did he ever say why he wandered around the platform for an hour?
He said the thought of his wife had him flustered, and he couldn't He always had an excuse ready for anything you asked him, including the harassment charges. He pled not guilty, but the evidence said otherwise. There wasn't a single argument we could make in court to establish.
Safe to say he did it. But on the same day, he knew his son's bully would be murdered. Pretty clear it wasn't a spontaneous need to grab some ass.
I agree. It's almost like all the commotion around the harassment might have been planned out. Maybe everything was, even down to getting captured.
Yeah. He really played everyone by turning harassment into an alibi for murder. No matter how much evidence points to him as a killer, he can deny it with complete immunity.
This is getting crazier by the minute.
At the very least, he had something to do with it. Some connection, whatever his plan is.
To what? Getting revenge for his son?
I think so.
Who do you think his accomplices could be? Ihara's a veteran cop. Think maybe he knows how to hire an actual... If so, he could have just paid...
Sure. But assassins cost an arm and a leg. He wasn't rich.
No, he barely scraped up enough to cover his lawsuit against the...
Not so.
Hey, it's Shirosaki.
What's up, Sari-san?
I'm scheduling an interview with Ihara tomorrow at the Tokyo Detention Center.
Sounds good. But I need...
Something you forgot to do?
Yeah. It involves Ihara's motive, which would be without a doubt. So I want to confirm if Mikoshiba really bullied the kid. I'm the best person to ask.
All right. Then I'll let you get to it.
Cool. Then... Got a minute?
No, not for...
What if I told you it's looking more...
Well, it doesn't concern me.
Ihara-san believes Mikoshiba tormented Toshiro-kun so badly that he took his own life. But neither the third-party investigation nor the courts were on. So what's the truth here? What really happened between Mikoshiba and Toshiro-kun?
Why do you keep asking?
I'm going to the detention center tomorrow to get some answers out of her.
What?
I saw where Mikoshiba was murdered. He endured no shortage of... They tortured him, you know. They broke all his...
No.
And somehow Ihara-san knew Mikoshiba would be killed on the day he got caught for groping. It's like he did it to prove he had nothing to do with the murder. But maybe that wasn't his real objective at all.
Huh?
I think he wanted to signal that he'd finally avenged his son.
The body belongs to a guy named Hiro Mikoshiba.
If I'm gonna face him tomorrow, I can't go in without... So, 4 years ago, did Mikoshiba bully That's all I want to know.
My answer won't change. There's no evidence Mikoshiba...
Are you sure about that? Take a look at this.
That's...
Toshiro Ihara, your student. Imagine that he's listening to what you're saying now. If you can look at him and say Mikoshiba in fact, you'll never hear. So which is it?
"4 years ago, not long after I'd transferred here to teach English, I was trying my best to get acclimated, and I was finally on a first-name basis with everyone. One day, after school, I was out on the roof taking a break, when Toshiro-kun suddenly ran by. I called out to him to ask what was wrong, but he shushed me and kept running. I saw he had a bloody nose. Moments later, Mikoshiba-kun showed up. He was looking for him. I told him I hadn't seen him. Toshiro-kun's face told me everything I needed to know.
So Mikoshiba was bullying him after all.
Yes. Toshiro-kun told me this whenever he'd leave school with Mikoshiba-kun and his friends. They'd force him to hand over money. At first, they'd try to pass it off as a joke. They said since he lowered the class average on tests, he ought to buy them all drinks as an apology. And Mikoshiba-kun, he was having too much fun with it. To stop. He started offering tutoring sessions to Toshiro-kun. Only so he and his crew could extract their tuition from him. They'd even break into his house while his mother was at work and take the money she left him for dinner. And if he couldn't pay, they'd beat him up at school or make him grovel in the bathroom.
Didn't anybody see what was really
The
happening?
teachers either saw nothing or turned a blind eye. Anyway, I ended up relaying everything Toshiro-kun had told me to those boys' homeroom teacher. Mind you, this teacher had tenure, title, and... Do you know what he said? Not to cause a commotion because those boys were about to graduate.
Why does that...
To be honest, it was hard to paint such an outwardly model student in a negative light. There was also no hard evidence to support. Someone still should have stepped in to help. If only I'd understood that at the time.
You tried.
The only thing I tried was to keep an eye out for him. Making sure he wasn't alone, things like that. But unfortunately, that was on the first morning of the 3rd trimester. Toshiro-kun tied a towel to his doorknob and hung himself in his room.
And that's when you confronted Mikoshiba, right? You asked him point blank if he'd bullied him.
I did. Mikoshiba-kun pretended to know nothing. He was more careful, in all honesty. When I heard a third-party committee was... Students were asked to fill out an anonymous questionnaire, and many of them wrote down
Hold on. Didn't the court end up declaring there was no substantial evidence of bullying? How could they have said that with those questionnaires on hand?
First of all, the committee never interviewed anyone directly. Those questionnaires were the only... And the teacher of those boys was the one who collected them. Each time he came across any mention of bullying, he'd toss... Also, he wouldn't get blamed in the end for ignoring the warning signs.
So then the committee was pointless.
A few students did speak up about the bullying. Toshiro-kun's parents were completely caught off guard. That made it that much easier for the teacher to cover up all... He made that statement without even consulting the... So, right before Mikoshiba-kun graduated, the committee presented their findings. That there was no evidence of bullying.
What the hell?
In Japan, 300 children commit suicide every year. Less than 3% are proven to be linked to bullying. Toshiro-kun's case ended, but Ehara-san wasn't satisfied with those so he sued Seiryo High, demanding compensation for Toshiro as the trial dragged on. Of course, my intention was to let everything I knew out into the... But before that could happen, That damn teacher came with the school's attorney to see how I would testify.
They didn't want you making them look bad, huh?
Of course not. That's when I first learned what he did with those incriminating questionnaires. They had no choice but to reveal everything to me, to try and sway me to their side. I guess they were just that desperate. After all, I was the only adult who Toshiro... I don't think he'd spoken to his parents about it once. So yes, that's why there was never any objective evidence of bullying. It wasn't like I had a mind to record our conversations. The school attorney saw fit to remind me that the law says innocent until proven guilty. And if I couldn't produce tangible evidence, then I...
So it was witness tampering. That is, they coerced you into false testimony?
Yes.
Must have been incredibly hard on you.
What I should have done was told the truth regardless. But what else could I have really done for him? Some days I just don't know. As much as I've tried to convince myself I did everything I could for him.
So what happened to the teacher who covered all...
He transferred to another school.
That's unfortunate.
Even so, I don't have...
Maybe, but in that case, Mikoshiba's bullying of Toshiro, or those questionnaires getting discarded. Have you ever told anyone else?
No. I've been silent. Yagami-san. You know what? Back when I was a student in high school, I witnessed bullying firsthand. There was this kid. My classmates pushed him too far. And one day he just jumped off the roof.
Off the roof?
By some miracle, he survived the fall. And he's been in a coma for the last 13 years. Nobody knows if he'll ever wake up. His name is Mitsuru, and he may never open his eyes to the world again. His mom watches him, but she works full-time. She's a higher-up in the government.
I'm sorry to hear it.
The worst part is that his teacher knew. He even talked to the bullies about it. But all he said was, don't overdo it. But afterward, the public eviscerated him. He had to quit his teaching job. And yet, for poor Toshiro-kun, nobody was held responsible at all. And that includes me.
But if anyone was going to take responsibility for that, Mikoshiba should have been first in line. I'm sure Ihara-san must have thought the same thing.
You know what I wanted to be as a kid? I was so innocent, I wanted to be a teacher. And after Mitsuru-kun's tragedy, I felt practically obligated. And still, I just let history repeat itself.
Hmm?
Huh?
Hmm? Either way.
Sure.
I see. Hmm?
Wait.
What? Who's a good boy? Got something? This way, huh? Got something? Doing great. Hmm? Excuse me. What? I see. Hmm? Oh, got something? This way, huh? Got something? Doing great. Got something? This way, huh? Excuse me.
嘘。
Hey. No way. Let's go. Hey. In other words, no way. Excuse me.
お願いします。
Who's a good boy? Hmm? Seriously?
Yagami-san!
Nope.
It can't be.
Huh?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Does that mean...
What?
Hey.
I'm sorry. And stay down. What is going on? Having a party?
Hey, welcome back. Care for a drink, Yagami-san?
Heads up.
Now make yourself at home. Not that you haven't already.
Who, me?
Well, whatever do you mean?
Kuwana's fine. He just swung by to have a chat with you, man. Not that I mind hanging out over beers and shogi.
Kaito's a gentleman and a scholar. I like your style.
What do you want with me?
Check it out, Yagami-san. You're only here to get to the bottom of that Hiro Mikoshiba kid's murder, right? That's gotta be the reason the Yokohama Leomang attacked you, isn't it? All I'm saying is that you've gotta cut me in, man.
Thanks, but I've got enough help.
So some hotshot detective strolls into town and tries to leave the local guy out in the cold? No offense, but that's not gonna fly.
You gonna play your turn? Just finish your game and go home already.
When you benefit from someone who knows the scene? You know, I can get you anywhere in a Jincho above or below ground.
Aren't you expensive?
I'll give you a first-time customer price. I'm not about to sit here and let some outsider swoop in and take all the credit alone. And that means I guess I'm gonna chill here until you give me the nod.
It's Tsukumo and Sugiura's place as far as I'm concerned. Not even my call to make.
I welcome having more company. The more the merrier. That'll be the agency motto.
I don't really care.
Such a nice office. I'm gonna love it here.
Yagami-shi, guess what? The trending sentiment is that he killed him in an act of vengeance for his son.
They've already figured that part out?
See for yourself.
Son of a bitch student teacher should burn in hell for bullying a kid all the way to suicide. Mikoshiba was a damn psychopath. Ehara is the vigilante groper. And that's not even the trolls.
So the news is blowing up on the net, huh?
In internet terms, this is only the first spark that could ignite into a fire. Not even what I'd call viral.
Then who's lighting the spark? The people responsible for Mikoshiba's murder?
I'll have to go down a few more rabbit holes before I can make that call, I'm afraid.
Gotcha.
That said, some posts are kinda suspicious. This one here, for instance. Ehara totally called the location of the body at his trial. The fact that he did that never really even went public, as far as I could tell.
It was kept off the record?
When Ehara got arrested, the cop-turned-groper story and his sexual battery charges were huge news. It was all the media could talk about. But by the time his trial rolled around, the news had already moved on. His guilty verdict barely made a blip.
Fellas, I told you I wanted to be kept in the loop on this stuff. You saying Mikoshiba had more than one killer? And where are they now? You think these lunatics are still hanging around Ijincho?
It's been over 2 months already, man. If they were here, they're probably long gone by now. Another peaceful day in Ijincho, right? Check outside.
It's the Leomang. The White Mask again.
Let's go, Chuck!
I'll catch you later.
Not bad.
You're not getting away this time!
Guy.
Hold up! Oh, great. Where am I? You lure me here?
Don't worry, man. I'm not planning on killing you tonight.
Okay, but why else would you take off the mask?
Because from this point forward, Ijincho is closed. You won't be coming back. I'm Tesso. For what it's worth, I'm an officer candidate of the Yokohama Liumang. I hear you took out some of my masked boys the other day.
Oh, you mean those guys who thought they could sneak up on me in the afternoon?
Maybe if you hadn't resisted at the time, you'd be in a lot less pain than you're about to be in the near future.
Who's paying you to try to take me down?
This is a job that came down from the top of the org. I don't know who hired us, and to be honest, I don't give a shit either. But ripping up a kick-ass detective like you sure sounds like a good time. None of you guys make a move! I want to see if the rumors are true, so I get first taste. Show me what you got. Yagami! Shit, Tasso!
What happened to standing still?
Look out below!
Running a little late. late tonight, aren't we, Kaito-san?
Yeah, my bad. Had to punch my way through a few guys.
Hey, you gotta run for it. If you stick around, it's not gonna matter how many lives you've got.
Yeah, but if I run now, who's gonna pay for Tsukumo's window then?
Huh? For fuck's sake, I'll just pay for it. Now get out of there.
You got a deal.
Talk! Path's all clear.
I'm on my way!
We done here?
Yagami!
Yeah? You want something?
Just want to say, I'm impressed. I wasn't expecting you to take out all these guys.
Thanks. But if you're...
Didn't I say this before? I got no interest.
Can you do me a favor and turn down the job next time, maybe?
Yeah, right. If the request comes through again, I'm taking it. Me and my big mouth.
Hey, not bad, man. A lot.
All I want to know is if the Liumang are no longer...
Wouldn't go that far. But hey, at least they probably won't blindside.
Guess that is a step forward.
Anyway, we should go...
Sugiura!
Yagamishi! Oh, thank God you're back.
Tsukumo, what happened?
He's knocked out cold. Damn it.
Masked men attacked us. I couldn't fight them.
Masked men, you say? Were they any different from what the Liumang wear?
I couldn't get a good look. Sugiurashi, they stuck up on him with a bat and came after me next. They got me. My pinky.
They broke it? Hey, are you okay?
I'll call an ambulance.
There are these photos and a message I was told to give to you, Yagamishi. They said to tell you, this is your final warning.
They've been spying on me?
It hurts.
Shit. If they want me, then come after me.
Talk. I think the Liumang were part of the plan, as bait. They probably only came to lure us away from the office. The worst part is it fucking worked!
This camera ought to show everyone coming in and... Look, there's me and Kaito chasing down the Liumang. But here's the hitch. There were 7 of them, and they didn't have those trademark white masks. So clearly, they're not Liumang.
They must have got the white masks to lure us out, meaning they're the ones calling the shots here. Wouldn't surprise me if they were also Ihara's accomplices to murder.
That'd be something.
Though, it's hard to believe a single murder.
Really? Why do you say that?
More friends, more loose lips. One slip of the tongue. Taking a man's life would require absolute solidarity from every single member. What could be their...
Could be they're Ihara's buddies in blue. After hearing what happened...
If it were me, yeah, I'd sympathize.
Yeah, who'd throw their life away for that?
That e-cig's that good, huh?
Considering the area's volatility, the Liumang are the best bet in the house. But if it's not them... Well, there is the Seiryu clan, but they have some decorum compared to these guys. And then the Komijul, the Koreans, they would never get caught on camera. They're shy like that. Go figure.
Impressive list you've got up there, Mr. Handyman. Too bad they're all dead ends.
Hey, if there's a crime in Kamurocho, would you know who did it off the top of your head?
No.
This footage is the lead we've been waiting for. Now we're gonna hunt...
You get hit in the head or something? Find them and they'll mess your ass up.
Will they?
Don't you get it? They were planning to take you out, man. Or would you rather risk your neck over nothing?
Where we come from, risking our necks the bare minimum. You Ijincho guys must not see much action.
Yeah, well, in Ijincho, a handyman's wages don't cover life and limb.
I don't recall ever hiring you.
Yeah, and if you asked me now, I'd say hell no. This shit's getting way too over my head. And yours. Sorry, Kaito-san, but I'm gonna have to pass on drinks for a while. Send my regards to the lads.
Well, hey, never chase what leaves.
The agony. I was in a cold sweat all of yesterday. At this rate, I'll be forced to type one-handed. If you do the math, my pinky is, we're talking about at least a 30% drop in it.
Well, it's been a while since I got it this bad.
So, leaving Kamurocho made you rusty, huh?
Really, with that?
Hey, if you've got the energy to complain...
I'm gonna make this up to you guys. I promise.
Well, if you want to do that, we'll need to figure out who and where they are. There's a high possibility this group is directly behind Miko. And of course, that would mean... How about swapping more info with the Kanagawa police?
Let's save that for when we really need it. We're not the authorities here, so we need to play our cards close to our...
I think that's a...
Saori-san's on top of getting things set up with Ehara, right? In that case, take your time prepping. We can always...
That's bad, but for...
What's up, Kaito-san? Something...
Call me crazy.
What the hell?
Maybe they are. Well...
Anyway, I need to go talk to...
Let's roll, Talk. Hold on a minute, Talk.
What?
I'm noticing a lot more punks scurrying around than normal. Something's up.
Really?
Hey, don't I know you too? You're Detective...
Yeah, so what?
You ever seen this guy before? A few years ago, he was the manager at some girls' bar nearby.
You really need all these meatheads?
Damn right he is.
I'm thinking out of curiosity. What's a guy doing running a...
I don't think he actually ran the floor or anything.
So he's a missing person.
I
mean, disappearing from Kamurocho isn't that uncommon.
Your guy have a name?
Trying to be cute? We're the ones asking the questions.
Who's fucking with who, asshole?
Nice or not, information has a price.
How about I butter your brains on the sidewalk?
Straight to throwing punches, huh? Even the Yakuza treated people better than that.
Fuck off!